This is the trending talk as a hashtag TTTT. We have the last word on the most important stories of the week. Nah, just kidding. Not. Anyway, Ciru Muriuki is in the building.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
What up? What up? What up?
Cindy is back with us.
Hey, how you doing, Larry?
And Butita still has more suits, guys. Butita has more suits.
Usual.
It's a mystery. Yani Butita kuna suti ngapi?
Butita as a sponsor.
Nilikwambia ni mbaya. Mutatoroka hii Nairobi nyinyi.
Butita
Butita suti yako inaka Jubilee party sana.
Inaka Jubilee party by the way,
Yeah.
sindio?
And we're launching.
Sema tuko pamoja ama aje?
Hapana. Hapana, hii si headquarter wewe.
Sawa brother, vile tu naifeel. Lakini hizo colors, ukiangalia na colors za Jubilee ziko karibu sana.
They're very close.
Ukuta yangu ya
Butita, are you on the bus?
Uko kwa bus, imeingia siji tip vitu kama hizo.
Okay, nguo zangu ziko pamoja.
Oh, nice. Nice.
By the high Sakaja Johnson, big fan.
Okay,
Big
guys.
fan.
So last Friday, this video of Lillian Muli draining her chills on a waitress at Caribbean's bar and restaurant in Kilimani here in Nairobi went viral. Listen. So the video has obviously attracted a lot of attention. I want you to listen in one more time.
This is good. Now I get this one. I got this one. Now this one I got.
Every time she goes there, she says this woman treats her with an attitude. Ciru.
Hey, okay, now, this one is tricky. There's so many layers of these stories, and I don't know whether there's enough time to unpack it. Let me just give you...
Tupati highlights.
Let me give you the bullet points.
Yes.
Number one, basically, I was brought up, to treat, people in the service industry with respect.
Yes.
For two reasons. Number one, kazi ni kazi. Number two, they can spit in your food in the kitchen.
Yes,
so
yes.
better act right. If you don't want extra ingredients in your food. You know what I mean? Having said that, I will not lie. There are times when it's only Jesus himself that holds me back from exploding the way Lillian exploded.
Yes.
We don't know the backstory. We don't know what happened before. And from what she was saying, it's not a first-time thing. So maybe she was having a bad day, and all that exploded into, the confrontation we saw there.
Yeah.
Having said that, it wasn't cool, but then again, we don't know the backstory, so I can't really judge her. But the person I will be judging is that Kadud who took the video, laughing in glee.
Imagine.
He was not actually like, yeah, but then she's not talked to this waitress.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like, I have busted Lillian Muli.
Nimempata.
What is that? What is this glee in taking people down, man?
Schadenfreude.
That ain't cool.
The German word, Schadenfreude.
Yeah, Schadenfreude. It's ridiculous.
Cindy.
And what annoyed me most is where he's saying, go to Kempinski or whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
He should go to Kempinski
go.
and try and pull that stuff of recording people. He'll be shown a door or two. But I agree with Ciru. We don't know the backstory.
Yep. This is just
I'm
a
not
small video,
condoning
maybe
the
of a much
fact that
longer
she-
encounter, right? So we don't know exactly what have happened before or after.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm not condoning the fact that she used some very colorful words to cuss out at this waitress. But, sometimes even in the spirit of, even the Holy Spirit, it has come on you.
Hey.
Kuna waitress na wochi.
Kwanza wochi.
Anaweza kukusumbua. They're touching that spot.
Yes.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to explode.
Over and over. Just poking you.
I think it's rather unfortunate.
Okay.
And I wonder if the video went viral because it was Lillian cussing at a waitress, or
If
it
it was
went
some other
viral because she lost her
person.
temper and
Yes.
it's Lillian.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Butita.
asked myself, actually, if
The
this story
Englishman.
dropped, just chill.
Wise
If this
man.
story,
What? Hang on a second, Butita. Yes, Ciru.
I was saying, if this story dropped and it was, for instance, Larry
Yes.
Yeah.
cussing out, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? This is not a male-female thing. It's a
Yeah.
fact that someone is, doing well in life, they're a celebrity, they're in a place where, they're public figures. So someone is always waiting in the wings to bring you down a peg or two. So you know what? It doesn't matter if it was me or Lillian or Larry or whoever. This story would have gone viral the same way, and it's messed up. Then that guy was checking. He was like,
It is the way of the
Sounded like a
it's
punk.
the way of the world. Butita?
Na ndipo wazungu wakasema, the wise men, an hungry man is an angry man.
Ai?
Huh?
Ate? Ate?
What language is that?
Wazungu hakusema hiyo.
A hungry man.
No, I'm laying glass.
Wacha nirudie. Ngoja.
Rudia,
No,
try
I'm
again.
glad.
Take two, yes.
Is a angry man.
Oh.
Umesema angry mbili wewe.
Butita says a hungry man is an angry man.
He's an angry man.
Hungry and angry.
Like
From the
angry?
top. Pull it up, pull it up.
Sasa mna Lilian Muli.
Yeah.
Ngojeni. Okay. Me, I think Lilian Muli ni human tu. Anaweza kasirika kama mtu yote.
Kweli.
Atujui alikosewaje.
Yeah.
So let's not be quick to judge.
Truly.
You atujui nini will happen.
I'm going to abstain from this because Lilian is my friend and everybody has a bad day, man. It's just
Totally.
that when you have your bad day, if you're in a certain kind of position, then your bad day is broadcast for the whole world.
It's like you're not allowed to have an off day where you're like,
And she's a good person. So
Yeah.
despite her faults, and we
mnachezana
know all her
njani.
faults.
she's cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
two peeps. Love you, Lilian.
mwanaume ni kujiamini na kiti, especially kama wewe ni carpenter. If you catch my drift, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. He's Paul Andrew Kongani Udoto. If you have been following the interviews for the next Chief Justice, then you know that name must ring the bell and ring it loudest because this is the carpenter who applied for the Chief Justice position as a side hustle. Umsana jiamini. Wase wako na sijima CV, yani makamu tu wasiji 84 pages CV. Huyu jamaa he trained for law, he's a carpenter, he's just like hata mimi naweza kuwa Chief Justice. Butita, kujiamini ama kujiamini?
Bila kwa vile mseli kujiamini lakini unajua alisikia wakisema sheria ni msumeno.
Akaichukua literally.
Sasa ndio alisema sheria ni msumeno na yeye ni carpenter.
Wow. We can end the show.
Akaona hapa ataweza.
Tumalize show hapo hivyo, twende hivyo.
Drop mic.
Lakini sawa, acha mimi watu kao ndio wanafaa kwa judiciary. Ndio majaji waache kutupa mbao.
But Butita came prepared.
Nikatieni kaigwe.
Good one.
Well.
Okay, Cindy, I don't know how you can top
Don't
that.
ask me to come after that one. Whatever Butita said.
Yeah, that one.
Pia mimi nimesema.
Even me, I have nothing more to add.
I have nothing on that.
I feel like Britney Spears at the VMAs.
After
Beyonce has
Beyonce.
performed. Then I'm no, Butita handled this one.
Sawa,
You
Butita.
got it.
Hiyo topic imeisha hivyo. Tunaendelea.
Guys, I'm humble.
Okay, so truly, money talks, and when it comes to the newly formed Jubilee Party, you could say it is a little louder. The party now boasts a state-of-the-art building complex along the Thika Superhighway. You must have seen it up with Pangani. And then they've got 47 brand new branded Toyota Prados. Just to mention a few of the campaign machinery believed to be running into billions. What one has said, labda is 2.5 billion. It's not. Nobody has confirmed this figure or denied it, so it's out there. But the debate is happening, though. What is the difference between campaign money and money for development? Like, you know, there's a whole Beyond Zero campaign to raise money for ambulances for, you know, all of the counties. Then this is happening. Ciru.
I think that the reason people have problems with this, and like Larry says, we don't know the figures.
Yes.
So I can't, and I really
We don't know how much has been spent.
Yeah, so I really try not to talk about things that are not in full possession of the facts.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that people have issues with this is that campaigns are very loud.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're trying to get elected. So you have to be loud, you have to be in people's faces. But development is quiet. Like
You don't shout about development.
Yeah, like it happens. You know what I mean? And of course that might be arguable. Like, is it happening or is it not it's not happening? That is subject to opinion.
So campaigns are by design loud.
They're loud things. And having said that, the people in charge of Jubilee, Mimi ni corporate MC. I do various and just call me and you know, my people in Nyeri love me. Ukitaka kufanya campaign Nyeri unipigie simu.
Okay.
Mimi huyo.
I know, right? Okay. But for that reason, but then Butita pia anakuanga corporate MC na vitu kama hizo. Unajua ile alikuwa na title refu last week. Cindy, what do you think?
Ya kutesa.
Ya kutesa,
So
again,
guys, I'm
like
available.
it's a bit difficult to talk about this and you don't have the facts. But
yes.
I think the bone of contention is that many of the members of the newly formed Jubilee Party are already in office right now.
Yes.
So the source of wealth as to where they got the money to buy and brand brand new Prados,
47.
47 of them, is raising a question.
Okay.
So there was talk that we have friends, that President Uhuru Kenyatta has friends, Deputy also has friends, the party members have friends, and the friends came together. I'm wondering, why can't these friends come together during the budget? Or, like you mentioned, during Beyond Zero? Why are they coming together and spending so much money just for elections?
Okay.
And we still have roads that have not been fixed. We still have guys who are defecating in the bush.
Okay.
So,
good question.
It raises an eyebrow.
Butita, real quick.
Politics uko hivyo, watu tumia do. Jubilee labda wameamua kubuy building ndio wasilipe kodi ya nyumba.
Ha, Butita.
Really? Really? Okay, let's leave it there for the moment. I have one more Jubilee story, but we have to take a really quick break right now. The Trend Trending Talkers. The hashtag is TTTT. We're going to be right back. Welcome back. This is the Trend Trending Talkers. Wait, what? Butita, what are you wearing? Umevaa nini?
Ndio tunaitaka.
Akuna jacket. Akuna jacket. Ukuna brown jacket.
Tusianze kuchekeleana mapema.
But the proud letter jacket proof that Kalenjins are Kikuyu cousins, our cousins.
Kabisa.
Because as we have a black leather jacket, a brown letter jacket.
Larry, unajua Eldoret imekuwa ni noma. Hizi ndio watu wanavaa huko. Mpaka ukienda place ya Shoeshine. Tuanze na kiatu ama jacket.
By the way, today is a trend with Andy Butita featuring Larry Madowo.
I know.
Unasikia dema ameambiwa leta. Nilete nini? Hapana, leta jacket.
Leta jacket.
Mbona lakini hii wiki wasome wa realize kuna video wakale wanapenda hizi jacket. Even the deputy president akona moja. Huyo the MP for Cherangani, the athlete Wesley Korir akona moja. Everyone has it.
Akose ndio.
Sijui. Yani,
I went to school in Moi University. That thing for the jacket and Safco jeans is for real.
Unajua mpaka gavana wa huko.
It is for real. Watu wa Kales, Samge, Yamune, you know yourselves and you know where you get it in town.
There's so much later. So much later.
Ndio hizo.
Unaona cheki hao watu kwa bank wako nayo kila mahali.
The jacket and sweater. Kama si jacket ni sweater. Zile una button paka hapa juu zile zina collar. Bas.
Why?
Butita ati nini?
Come on.
Mimi nakwambia hata governor ateka kwa billboard. You are now entering Uasin Gishu County. The leather jacket county.
Jacket.
Mamingala.
Bye bye.
Na mtu asianze kuongea mbaya.
Mtu asianze kuongea mbaya.
Tafuteni kitu yenu mbaya pia.
Kitole a jacket. Kitole.
Oh, you guys are too funny.
Sio kombaka na socks za leather.
Haya.
Unacheza wewe.
I think those are called shoes. Those are boots.
Ati una kiatu poa, si kiatu pato ni socks.
Shout out to all my KALE friends, by the way.
Shout out to all of you
get me
guys.
one. You know what you guys we should do? We should have a jacket edition.
We should have a jacket edition. Kabisa.
Yes.
Next week kila mtu akuja na yake.
Mimi nataka yangu kutoka pale
kuna boy wangu anazizanga pesa poa, 5,000, mko watatu 15.
I can't. So guys, we were just talking about Jubilee a moment ago. They put up billboards obviously around the country, but the one in Homa Bay didn't do so well. It was burnt down over the weekend, just a day before, or 2 days before the parties merged and came into the Jubilee party. There was a billboard that didn't survive, didn't even get to see the party actually get launched. Ciru, real quick.
Well, I mean, we all know the geopolitics of this country, which regions support which political parties.
So this is a code zone, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's hardly surprising. I'm not, and you know, protest is part of your rights. I guess maybe the only thing I take issue with is destruction of property. Like you can protest in other ways, but I mean, this was to be expected. I think Jubilee was being very optimistic. Because that billboard there.
The counter argument, do you think a code billboard would survive, say, somewhere like Nyeri?
Nyeri, yes. Do you know why?
Yes.
We're very busy. No, I'm not going to say what we are
Don't.
busy doing
Okay,
because I'll
good.
be hated.
Wacha
I'll be
siasa
hated in
wewe.
Nyeri County na sitaki.
Cindy.
No, I don't know.
Cindy.
The reason I was sort of giggling is because when you started the topic, I remembered. Do you remember when the Sikh community was celebrating 100 years in Kisumu and they got this statue?
Yes, yes.
And the guys pulled it out, and then they were saying, "Hata haina nguo."
Ati wakasema nini?
Hata haina nguo. So you can imagine what the Homa Bay guys were saying when they were banning this billboard. Okinyalre. Manoda. Watamre. Hata haina nguo.
Butita.
Mimi nadhani tupatie tu watu wote opportunity ya kucampaign. Si ndio tutaamua baadaye. Mtu akitaka kuziweka place yote wacha aweke.
Yes. Hapo sawa.
Totally
sour. Guys, we have to talk about this. The Rio mess, that's what it's being called now. It's nowhere near ending because new details keep coming up every day. The Olympics, long gone. In fact, the Paralympics are on now. Kemboi has already recovered from that kipara, but the Rio scandal just changing faces every time. Did you remember the poor conditions that our athletes were treated to in Rio? Of course, you do. Everybody does. Now, to add insult to injury, details emerging weeks after indicate that millions of shillings went to waste in Brazil when the Olympics Committee paid for expensive rooms for the president, but he did not show up. Taxpayers apparently paid $605 per day for 18 days bed and breakfast rooms, which had been booked just in case the president decided to visit Rio. But he didn't. So they total spent about 2.2 million shillings to book this cruise ship, and Uhuru never showed. Ciru.
This upsets me greatly. And you know, we've been talking about this for a few weeks.
I know,
now.
every week for like 3-4 weeks we've been talking about this.
Like you said, Kemboy's hair has grown back, and we're still having this conversation. Like, honestly, first of all, I want to know the protocol behind presidential trips. Like, does the president wake up one day and he says, you know, metpitia Rio, but again,
they know well in advance. Like, they're going to the UN General Assembly in a few weeks. Everything is already planned.
So if he wasn't going, I think it was known well in advance that Uhuru Kenyatta was not going to be there, right?
Yes, yes.
So this was basically another ploy then to steal our money. Apparently, it was going to be on a cruise ship.
Yes.
And then you look at people like Catherine Dereba,
who, by the way, spent one night without food. She didn't have food.
She didn't eat.
Oh my
it was
God.
on buying people's G15.
Catherine Dereba is royalty in athletics.
She had to borrow money. But there were rooms on a cruise ship. And let's even move on to what was upsetting us a couple of weeks ago. Remember, like, when the athletes were kicked out of the Olympic Village, right? And they had to spend the night in a favela. I'm sure there are still nights left on that cruise ship. No one felt like, oh, the rooms that we've paid for that haven't been used. Now, what watatolewa kwa nani? And as we're trying to find them cheap tickets, and that's also another bone of contention because the person was trying to find them cheap tickets. He himself flew back business class, but that's also
and there's the guy, one of these guys, Cindy, who had 25 million shillings in cash.
In cash.
In cash.
He was walking around with 25 million shillings in cash. Yet our team spent 2 weeks, some 3 weeks with 2 kids.
Yes.
This is ridiculous. This Rio mess, it was in the news yesterday that there was somebody who took the fall for the kids, only 300,000. And I think that's such a cover-up so that we can go like, okay, something is being done. But I agree with Ciru. It should be unearthed from the roots. There's a cruise ship. There is our athletes going hungry, as you mentioned. There's the kids. There's the allowances in the case of the rugby team. It should be sorted completely. Getting one person to get the fall for it, and then he's on bail for 100,000. We will not forget. Let us not be forgetful with this Rio red-hot garbage mess.
I'm so happy, Cindy, that you've said that let us not be forgetful, because the saddest thing about we as Kenyans that we're notoriously forgetful. We're like that fish in Finding Nemo. Dory. That's who we are. Like, a story arises, we're angry, and then something else comes up and we forget. But then if you're a Kenyan, please don't forget about this. Please ask for people to be taken to book.
That's why landlord wangu na headmaster, they used to tell me, sheep is expensive.
Yeah.
Really? They used to say, sheep is expensive, my sheep is expensive.
Walikuwa niambia sheep. Sheep is expensive.
I want to play some sound for you regarding this, by the way. It's not just something we made up. This actually came up, and there was a guy who was talking about how he had 25 million bob and the president. Listen.
CS said he was going to occupy the cruise ship now that His Excellency the President is not coming. So he was going to occupy the cruise ship. And then he suggested because of the seniority, the Solicitor General, when he comes, And I never knew when the Solicitor General was going to come, he will also occupy the cruise ship.
Yep. Never a dull moment. Cruise ship things. Anyway.
It's
so
disgusting.
upsetting.
It's disgusting.
Really upsetting.
All right. Guys, men and sausages in the same sentence just doesn't sound right. But wait until...
Like you have no shame.
It's like saying women and eggs.
What? What?
What is happening?
Cindy. My
Hey, Cindy.
Aweo, nimeacha.
Anyway. I was going to tell you guys about Oliver Okello. He was arraigned in court this week for allegedly stealing sausages valued at 1,000 bob from a city restaurant where he works. As inexcusable as this is, I thought people do steal out of luck. How embarrassing. Ati mwanaume anaiba sausage. Butita. Mwanaume anaiba sausage.
Lari buana, uko na madharau sana buana. Luo thieves don't steal buana.
They do what?
They possess what is not theirs.
This is a Luo Cindy stealing a sausage. It's a thou.
All I can sing is, oh, my commanding wife, she wants to destroy my life. The wife Bella told him, leo kuja bila sausage. All the time, sechete, iditich, where is the sausage? He stole for the wife, I'm sure. It's romantic. Let's forgive.
Na akona leather, by the way.
Akona leather jacket.
No, honestly, you know, a lie earlier you asked Ati, what are you going to do with all those sausages?
Yes, yes.
Did I get to this size?
Oh.
Let me tell you, there's nothing Ati, let me just have one sausage for breakfast. That is a lie from the evil one.
There's no Ati one sausage. You have
Ati
like
one
people
sausage.
7. Yes.
Me I have been known. But I have a problem. I have a problem with sausages. I love them so much. So when I was like, oh, this guy was, I understand. God will forgive you because it's sausages.
Ciru, you like sausage, do you?
I knew it. I knew this was where it was going. I like the products, the meat. Okay, so
Uko na Butita likonaenda, ni vile Cindy amefika sasa.
Wewe penda sausage.
One is not enough, but Butita.
What is going on?
Umesema mbele ya TV, ni sawa.
Let me tell you guys.
So it's the farmers that you like.
Margaret Nduta, she's free now following her release from Nyahururu Thompson Falls prison on Tuesday. She was serving a 4-year jail term for defying a court order to have her children immunized. Surprisingly, when she came back, she got a heroic welcome from members of her church. Shiro, how do I say this? Kanithawa Gai.
Kanithawa Gai.
It's a religious outfit that does not subscribe to conventional medicine. Her husband, Johnson Njoroge, is still serving a sentence at the same prison for refusing to take the daughter to hospital after she was raped in the Gatimu location.
What?
It gets even more interesting because Nduta was awarded a brand new sewing machine by the prison authority as a gift for being an exception among the prisoners in defense of her faith. Maybe this explains why alipata soko imeshona watu wakimgoja. Which begs the question, doesn't this sort of encourage the actual thing when she went to jail, right? Because she comes out and she gets a heroic welcome.
Okay, now, there are two things. Because her and her husband have gone to prison for two different things.
Yeah.
Her was taken because of failing to immunize her daughter.
And the husband refused to give medical attention to her daughter
after the daughter was raped.
Yes.
Let's deal with that later because I don't have the mouth right now to deal with that. But let's deal with the woman refusing to immunize. First of all, there's a movement that has been gaining traction even in the United States. They're called anti-vaxxers, where they believe that vaccinating your child or gives them conditions like autism, right? So now in a first world country like the United States of America, there have been cases of measles, whooping cough, polio, because people are not immunizing their children. It's because of such ridiculous beliefs. And here's the thing: you can believe in a higher power, you know, have your own worldview, your system, but you cannot force that upon your children. What parents sometimes I think forget is that, you know, your child is a gift from God, yes, but that child is also an autonomous human being.
Right.
And they have the right to get the best care that they can.
But Cindy, honestly, as a parent, do you imagine denying your child something that might actually save them from illnesses?
Absolutely not. But you see, I come from a different school of thought.
Yeah.
Just recently, remember when the measles rubella vaccine was going around?
Yes, yes.
There are so many middle-class parents who did not want their kids vaccinated because they believed some myth that they will be sterilized or this and that, the other. The mind is such a powerful thing. And so is religion. And I want to sort of throw a spanner in this works and say, Kenya, there's freedom of worship, Their way of worshiping is odd. But nobody really raises an eyebrow when, for example, Prophet Owori is going somewhere and people wash the streets with Omo.
Yes.
You know? Or when other guys hide under Kit Mikai because they believe it's the end of the world. It's just their religion. It's odd. But I think if we can excuse one, we can excuse the other.
To each their own. Butita.
Yeah, to each their own.
Despite people having different beliefs in their religions, we should not take for granted small things kama za izima health nini. In fact, ni big things. Juu kama kesi ya accident ikifanyika, watasema watampeleka usio mtoto.
Yeah, pretty
much. I know, that's actually a good question,
so we should not take for granted. Hata tukiomba, to ignore hizi vitu zingine.
Exactly. Like like Cindy talks about freedom of religion, which I completely agree. I've seen very odd face. Remember those guys who dug a hole somewhere? I think it was Nakuru. At the end of the world, 2012. I wonder if they're still there, waiting for the world to end. That 4 years on. Yeah, so I mean, and that is generally harmless, but when it crosses the line into, you know, actually doing harm to a child. I mean, this child was raped and was not taken to hospital. It's ridiculous.
That was inexcusable.
Let's leave it there, guys, for the moment. There's plenty more coming up in the last bit of hashtag TTTT. This is the Trend Trending Talkers. We'll be right back. We were just talking about church before we went to the break. Crisis the Answer Ministries, they're called SITAM. They collected 1 billion shillings in offerings and tithes in 2015. 1 billion. That's one with a B. Billion with a B. Nairobi Chapel. Yes. Nairobi Chapel, they got... So SITAM are those NPC guys. NPC Valley Road, NPC Karen, Nini. Nairobi Chapel, they got a total of 440 million shillings. And then All Saints Cathedral, they made 190 million shillings just in 2015 alone from tithes and offerings. Of course, all of these are now public because the 4 churches alone, the top 4 churches in Nairobi, do you know how much they made in total?
How much?
2 billion.
Wow. That's like the Jubilee campaign. They funded it. Sio there?
Yeah.
Hey, amesema kama wetu.
Sio there.
Diwaidera.
You know the amount. There's just something that came inside me and I had to say
it's when you're talking about money. It's really inevitable that you must really say you're there.
Butita lakini isi haija include Kanyari lakini.
Mimi nadhani kama God amekubless. Akasema upate 1 billion. Ukitoa 10%, hiyo ni 100 million. Ukipeleka church yenu, inamaanisha it will be 100 million richer. So ukiona hiyo do kwa church, ni good indication that kuna wase wanablessiwa huko nje by the way. Kila mtu apatianangi yote. Kama mtu upatiana 10%, kama hiyo ni 10%.
Yes.
Hii 90 kwa Wakenya.
So unasema Wakenya ni masonko kabisa.
Tunafaa kumshukuru. It's justified by the way.
Fantastic. Guys, the Kenyan national anthem, it is a hit song at the Rio Olympics. It was the last anthem to play at the closing ceremony. Everybody loved it. In fact, it's such a hit that Mani Kolengode, I'm not sure I'm not saying that right, he's a Kenyan of Asian origin. He did what Jimmy Gate does best, a cover song. Listen. So this song is unique in many different ways, in the way he's infused some Indian sound to it. And then you should look at the comments below the video. Atio, the national anthem is a big song that you don't just sing it anyhow. You don't give it the respect it deserves.
Anyhowly?
Yeah, in fact somebody says, you don't just sing it anyhowly.
Hiyo ni ukweli Larry.
Kenyan English.
Ati what do you mean ni ukweli Butita?
Hiyo ni ukweli.
Kwa nini?
There is a chapter, sijui ni cap ngapi, section ngapi, mahali tu hapo katikati ya constitution. Inakataa kuchezea national anthem.
Hii ni kuchezea aje sasa ni?
It's a symbol of national unity by the way.
But how is it not a symbol of national unity now?
Yes.
How did he disrespect the anthem? It's not like he performed it while twerking. He wasn't upside down on a pole. There were no strippers in the video. He gave it, I mean, it was a nice interpretation. I mean, I don't think it was great.
Can I say?
But this guy did what he thought.
I personally think he did it justice.
Yeah, I think he was being respectful. He was not cupping his, you know, body parts. He didn't grab his knees at work. He wasn't, you know, the no oily naked girls. As in, come on.
Hata tutasikia rendition ya Wagidhomo ya national anthem.
Hata Wagidhomo pia afanye tu.
Wafanye.
Wacha wafanye. You see, can I say what no one wants to say?
Yes,
Guys caught a feeling because he's a Kenyan of Asian origin. There's even a blog that called him an Indian guy. That's derogatory. Had it been Butita, guys would have given you a kudos.
Yes.
Hiyo ni mchezo. Hiyo wimbo imehit tangu independence mpaka sasa watu waanze kuyaribu.
Hapana. Watu may catch feelings because it's a Kenyan of Indian origin.
Let me tell you what the most hypocritical thing is. There's so many videos that do the rounds on Facebook as well of American students singing the national anthem. It's a cover, but no one ever says, why are these Americans singing? It's disrespectful. But this guy goes, does his interpretation. He does it respectfully. And that's for us, respect means standing kama mlingoti without moving. And the same people who keep talking about respect are the same people you see on social media hurling insults at other people based on their tribe, basically disrespecting what this country stands for. I mean, come on, don't be a hypocrite.
Topic closed. Butita, no, we're not debating it.
Wasn't twerking, calm down.
Okay, guys, if you're a student and you're watching this, I've got something that's important for you, and you could win real money, in fact, 100,000 shillings. All you need to do is form a team and participate in the Nairobi Securities Exchange Investment Challenge. The hashtag is very easy, NSC Investment Challenge. And what they do is they give you actual virtual currency to teach you how to play the stock market. How do you invest? How do you make those decisions? You and your friends need to come together, go to nsc.co.ke and figure out how to get involved in the NSC Investment Challenge, because this is how you're going to make real money. First from the prize money, but also once you learn how to work the actual stock market, then you're making actual cash once this whole competition is done. Less than one person was already played.
I'm Albert Chalo, an alumni of Egerton University, currently working in NIC Bank, Department of Asset Finance. The NSC Investment Challenge, it teaches young people how to make decisions on investments, especially in Nairobi Stock Exchange. When I finished the investment challenge, first I made a profit of, from the 3 million, I made 870,000. After the end of it, there was a reward, of course. Reward number one was to have an internship with the NSC Bank, which is their partner. And also, the other one was given cash prize of 100,000, which I did investment in securities. I bought shares with it. First, I know many people like to make money quick, especially young people. So my advice is always be patient. Don't run into doing things to benefit tomorrow, because also that means a bigger risk.
Albert is a wise man, and you can participate in the NSC Investment Challenge even if not your business student. You're not studying business or finance or something related. Anybody really can participate. Again, go to the website nsc.co.ke, click on NSC Investment Challenge, and you're good to go. You'll thank me later. Guys, did you see what happened? Miraa farmers, they were dealt another blow because the Somali government banned imports from Kenya on Monday, and they claim that Meru Governor Peter Munya had used the business to campaign for the breakup of the country. Somalia is one of the remaining major markets after the ban of Miraa exports to the UK and to the Netherlands. So this was really important. And Governor Munya allegedly went there and campaigned for the split of Somalia and Somaliland. And they didn't take it very kindly. Ciru, so that market is closed for now.
Wow. You know, it's so interesting we're having this conversation because I've been binging on Narcos, which is why I think maybe I speak Spanish by now. But
you don't speak Spanish. You just speak that one bad word they use all the time.
Hablar español. Yes. Thank you.
Real quick, yes.
Thank you. So it's very interesting that this is a multi-million shilling industry. And of course, there's going to be issues, there's going to be politics. And the sad thing is that the people who will suffer are the small-scale Mira farmers. Now, I might have my own personal opinion about the use and the distribution of Mira. That is why you not see me nikichana.
Yes.
But the people who depend on this, and as far as I know, it's not illegal. So I hope they sort this out so that the people who actually, grow this don't suffer.
Cindy.
I agree. Governor Munya came out and said that now Mira cartels are after his life, after the ban.
Yeah, he says his life is in danger.
His life is in danger, so I hope they sort this out. There's also another school of thought that the ban is also retaliation against the Kenyan government for closing Dadaab. So I don't know how true that is. But Mira is a cash crop.
Yes.
There are families and generations that rely on it. Serikali ingie katikati.
Aya, Butita.
Hiyo kitu imenikasirisha sana. Hatuwezi endelea kumbembelezana hivyo, tumekasirika. In fact, hatujakasirika, tunaendelea kukasirika.
Murume.
Tunakuanga tumekasirika.
Sasa mtafanya aje Murume?
Sasa wanatukataza kupeleka miraa na ndege ya China inapeleka vio huko. Vio kwa kizungu zinaitwa aje? Zinaitwa miraa. Sikio inaitwa miraa.
Inaitwa hapana, inaitwa mira, si miraa.
Mira?
Inaitwa mira.
Mirror.
Lakini Larry,
government
intervene. Juu kuna mashamba kubwa za Meru huko na society zinaitegemea. Kuna watoto wanasoma juu ya miraa, kuna hili. So ni economy kubwa yenye inafaa kuangaliwa poa.
Exactly.
All right. So this story is interesting. It involves the deputy president's office. What happened is some people were given a fake LPO by people who claimed to work at the deputy president's office to supply iPhones. In fact, there were like 300 iPhones in total. And then they delivered these iPhones and they disappeared. And naturally, they made their way to Luthuli Avenue, Koma back streets, and Nairobi, Nini. They had, quote, official government letterheads, Nini, but these guys don't work for the DP's office.
Wow. Let me tell you.
And then they were told, at hizi iPhone, ni za wasiwa tikad. Sasa harakisheni juu tikad iko hapa, delegates wanaenda.
Oh my gosh.
Ni noma. Larry. Yani mtu anaweza iba iPhone 1800. Ama ni ngapi?
They were about 300.
Oh, 300. Sini iPhone 6.
iPhone 6 plus.
1800.
iPhone 6 plus, yes.
So, miki tunashindwa. iPhone 300 times iPhone bei rahisi ni?
It was about 31, 32 million. What?
Ni 31 million. Yani kuna mtu ameiba range, hiyo ni gorofa mahali imeenda.
Kabisa.
Na vile ume break down brother.
Bana. Unajua tukiangalia in terms of money, ndio tunaona how serious is it. Juu tunasema tu ni iPhone.
Yes.
It's 30 something million.
Yes.
I mean, this just goes to show, that a lot of Kenyans will sit here, we'll talk about corruption in government, we'll talk about corruption at the National Olympic Committee, guys will go and tweet. But let me tell you, majority of Kenyans are just chilling for their chance. Ukipata deal moja tu.
Kabisa. You're sorted.
Yes, you're sorted. Corruption is such a systemic issue. It's such a systemic issue. And I really wish Kenyans get the chance to travel around the world. You see how societies work when people are not gorging themselves. Like, you're the ones who lose when you start behaving like
what
this.
What happened is one of these women who was at the LPO, apparently she's a driver at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but she had pretended she works at the DP's office and jina ingine tofauti.
Can you imagine?
There's another guy who so because she's a driver, she had a GK vehicle, right? And the GK vehicle was very important in the deceit. Kama uko na GK, lazima kwenye nisonko.
Ni kusema na kutenda these days.
Oh, you mean kusema na kutender.
We have this hunger for get-rich-quick schemes that we don't do due diligence. Although, to be honest, this crime was really masterminded well. I mean, they had the cards, they had the names, they had the official letterhead. So anybody could be duped. But as you said, they disappeared. Luthuli Avenue. Don't be surprised if every
iPhone 6
shop
plus.
has an iPhone.
Butita ukienda kubaya iPhone 6 plus uko back street. Ni easy sasa.
Ujue ni za wenyewe.
Unajua the first time niliona iPhone 200 nikashindwa tukua iPhone 7 wamefikaje 200.
iPhone 7 imetoka juzi by the way. iPhone 7 imetoka sasa iPhone 7 and 7 plus.
Hiyo si tutakuwa nayo next week ukitoka majuu.
It's really sad.
Nikuulize Larry.
Yes,
panel
for your
tunaletewa
panel.
iPhone 7
like,
kila
what
mtu.
have you done for us lately?
Yes,
Moving along
Larry.
swiftly.
Naomba serikali. Take
Moving
us
along
Na hizo
swiftly.
zenye zilipotea.
Guys,
He wants to move along.
so
So
Uber.
nikuulize Larry swali ya mwisho.
Uber chopper.
But let's move to Uber chopper.
I seem to have a
Let's
problem
move.
hearing Butita, so I'm just going to move right along.
Yeah,
No, we want our
Uber
passport
chopper.
stamped.
No, Uber chopper.
Uber chopper, yes.
I also
So
have things to say.
they were showing people what is possible if you, in future, you might be able to hail a chopper just like that, the same way you might hail a taxi, unajua. So some people got a few rides. Full disclosure, I'm one of those guys who got a ride on the Uber chopper.
Larry Madowo.
Cindy, did you get a ride? Cindy,
Larry.
did you get a ride on
I
an
did
Uber
not get a ride, Ciru. I
Butita,
walked
did
with
you
my
get a ride on an Uber
my
chopper?
kurukuru feet like this.
But Butita,
Larry.
wewe uliingia chopper, Butita, before you talk to Larry, did you wewe uliingia chopper ya Uber? Uliingia?
Watu wa Uber wananiingiza Sunday, next Sunday wananipeleka Mombasa wananirudisha.
Hakuna Sunday.
Sasa tuendelee.
At least wewe
Larry,
umeshaingia. Me
Ambia Cindy.
and Larry, this friendship, I need to really like sit down and just
we
take
evaluate.
stock.
We seem to have a
What
problem
value?
hearing. We seem to have a problem hearing Ciru. Yes,
Goja.
Butita, you say?
Ngoja Larry.
Yes.
Mimi nakuelewa.
Tungependa
kusaidia Cindy
na Ciru.
Lakini utarequest aje ndege na unaishi Roysambu. Sasa unajua Palitaland ni shida pia.
Malitaland pia ni shida.
Nani anaishi Roysambu wewe?
Ciru.
I live in Roysambu.
One of you.
What do you mean? Do you know my ancestors?
Alafu Larry alafu. Mimi naweza taka sana iende kupik msebu ngoma.
Yes.
Usikie wao communicate anamwambia we about to arrive, get ready. Ambia hata niko chini, endelea na safari.
But for real, Larry, why didn't we go? Like, why are you getting that story?
I'ma hook you all up next time.
No, this is, let me tell Kenya right now.
No.
Larry has been telling me next time since I started doing this trip. Bado mimi huyu hapa.
Oh wow, look at that. We have to go to the news.
See?
We're fully out of time.
That is that Klande. That Klande will just come once a week.
I'll leave my wife. I will leave my wife.
Legalize this marriage.
Anaenda majuu anatuacha Nairobi.
Cindy,
Anakam tu na ma-accent.
Wewe simwache nimalize show ni nini?
Hapana.
Ciru, Cindy, Butita, thank you so much.